Hey guys, my name is Quixote.
I'm Kate, guys. Hey, how you doing?
Guys, listen, welcome to another edition of Legends and Icons series. Today's actor, big time actor back in the golden age of film. I would say, well, would you say golden age of film?
That was kind of, you were supposed to, hey, who is it?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do that again. Oh. Cary Grant, guys. Cary Grant is the guy who we're doing tonight. Phenomenal actor back in the days of your 30s, 40s, and 50s, even 60s. Considered lots of things with his career as far as retirement early and all that stuff, and he's been through a heap of controversy and great films and awards and women. I mean, the guy lived, he lived a great, amazing life. Now, Kate.
Yeah?
What kind of things we got? Cary Grant.
Sure. Well, just a few facts. I'm not going to inundate you with facts. Cary Grant apparently left school at the age of 14. He forged his father's signature on a form for a comedic troupe so he could start performing.
Nice.
His mother was committed to an insane asylum, and at 14, when he was younger, he didn't realize that that's where she went. They told him that she just went away.
Okay.
And he didn't see her again until he was in his late 20s. And you always hear about actors having these like deep, dark, twisted family histories, and that kind of gets the wheels turning in terms of their acting.
It's usually the crazy ones who are the geniuses.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta take that out. You can't say that.
No?
No, crazy, babe. It's so wrong.
Okay. Well, that's what editing's for. Anyway.
So apparently his name was Archibald Alexander Leach.
Yes.
I was reading that at the time, another great actor by the name of Gary Cooper was prominent, and so they kind of wanted his name to kind of emulate or resemble Gary Cooper, so they had Gary Cooper and Cary Grant.
Two great actors back in the day.
Yeah, so they kind of wanted it to meld a little bit,
Okay.
which I thought was kind of just a fun, useless cocktail party trivia for you.
Okay. Well, he definitely couldn't use Archibald. I mean,
no, it's too well.
It's just way too Archibald Leach. I don't know. It just doesn't sound.
I mean, look,
It's not
when
as
you're
smooth
famous,
or suave as Cary Grant.
Yeah, but when you're famous, anything sounds cool.
That's true.
Nowadays, Archibald Leach could have been like this hip millionaire actor.
Could
you know
be
what I mean?
Paltrow's fourth baby. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be anything like that. I mean, it could be stuff like that.
Right. He made a slew of movies.
Yes.
One of his most popular was North by Northwest, which he filmed in 1959. I was reading the stats in terms of what he was making for these films, and back then, I mean, this is in the 50s, so could have been comparable to your Angelina Jolie or Brad Pitt, what they're making. He made $450,000 plus $315,000 of overtime.
What kind of overtime
plus
is that, guys?
a percentage of the gross profit. So can you just imagine getting a check?
And this is for North by Northwest?
Yeah.
This is also a Hitchcock film, y'all. So Hitchcock was at his peak at this time.
Yes.
This film was made in
1959.
1959, so right before Psycho came out. So Hitchcock was getting to that stage in his career where he was going to blow up. Cary Grant was already an established actor, big time actor back in the day. So to get that type of money, plus a piece of the backing, and you're in a Hitchcock film, blew his career out of the water. And North by Northwest, one of the best.
It definitely was one of his best. One of my all-time favorites, and this is a tribute to my mom. Mom, she loves this movie. Arsenic and Old Lace. One of the best black and white films.
I have not seen that.
Comedy.
I haven't seen
it. It is phenomenal. You guys have to check it out. That and Some Like It Hot are top on my list.
Okay.
That was made in 1944, and he made $100,000 for that.
Okay.
So he definitely. Oh, and the last movie that caught my attention as well was To Catch a Thief. This was also directed by Hitchcock, and this was made in 1955. In terms of revenue, he made $750,000 plus 10% of gross is over $8 million.
Wow.
The very interesting thing about this film, I found that Grace Kelly was his counterpart in this, and they actually were allowed by Hitchcock to improvise most of the dialogue, which I think is pretty cool.
I can't see Hitchcock doing that.
Yeah, neither can I, but
he seemed to be a stickler.
Just so suave.
I mean, and it's Cary Grant, and I mean, he just seemed so Hitchcock. I'm talking about just seemed so strict about the words coming off the page being the words coming off the page and not anything else as far as an improv is concerned. But I'm shocked to hear that, but I could see it happening because, like you said, Cary Grant was a huge actor, and to let your actors be free and improvise, and if it makes sense and it flows with what the story's talking about, why not do it?
Yeah. And, you know, you said something very interesting today. I just find him, even when watching him now, he was such an effortless actor. It was almost like watching a ballet. You know how you watch ballet dancers
Effortless.
and they look so unbelievably graceful? Like, that's what he was on screen. He was so graceful. But
The thing I found very interesting about Cary Grant's career was that he never played a villain. Never played a villain. Now, the film I'm about to talk about, which is probably my favorite Cary Grant film, Suspicion.
never played a villain, huh?
Never played a villain, but
That's
he was
interesting.
in
I don't
films
think he
to
would have
me.
been a good one.
I think he would have been a great villain.
No.
I think Cary Grant had the poise and the, I'm not going to say creep factor because you don't get creep factor from Cary Grant, but he definitely had the poise and the statuesque kind of look and I guess look
Stealth.
and stealth
Yeah.
to him to make him very intimidating. Now, in Suspicion, which is probably one of my favorite films that he's ever done, he is in the film with Joan Fontaine. Back in the day, great film actress. This film was made in 1941. Just want to get my facts straight before I start talking. 1941 Hitchcock film, early in Hitchcock's career. Suspicion, one of the greatest suspense films I think that has ever come out of Hitchcock's era of his filmmaking. Listen, Psycho, awesome. Suspense thriller at its finest, but Suspicion I think didn't get a lot of play. Suspicion, Cary Grant, Joan Fontaine. Joan Fontaine won an Oscar for her role.
Okay.
Movie is relatively longer. I think it runs over a little 2 hours.
What's it about?
It's about this guy who some in the community think he's a playboy, a playboy who preys on women with money and privilege and stuff like that, and kills them, and collects all their wealth as inheritance.
Sounds like a villain to me.
Sounds like a
What do
villain.
you think, ladies?
Now, in the film, he plays this guy to the T. He is cool, calm, collected, but has this real edge to him that in the film makes you wonder if he's going to go through with killing her. Is he really trying to kill her? Does he really love her? And you go back and forth with your emotions by thinking all this because of the way he plays the character well. I'm not going to give anything away, but awesome work from Cary Grant. Really fun movie to watch. It's not just a suspense where it's nothing but suspense. It doesn't break into maybe some comic relief or stuff like that. But it's definitely a film that has you think. It plays with your emotions. It has you think maybe, okay, I love this guy. And then you end up maybe 10 minutes later, man, this guy's a real jerk. It's really well done. Joan Fontaine, excellent as the, I guess you would call it a damsel in distress back in the 40s. That's what the women mostly played. And I'm not just saying that. That's what the women were in the 40s.
This is true.
But Joan Fontaine was a well-established actress, well known for her work, and she played right into being that woman who was kind of questioning who he was and scared to make certain moves around him, and just worried about who he really was and if he was trying to take advantage of her. Suspicion, top film on my list. Cary Grant, awesome in that, as well as North by Northwest, and many others. Now, Kate.
Yes.
You've seen what movie of
I have
Cary
seen
Grant?
Arsenic and Old Lace.
Okay.
I think that was probably about it.
Okay.
Haven't seen
Now,
many.
Tell us because I haven't seen it. Give me a little
Arsenic
thing
and
about
Old Lace.
Arsenic and Old Lace.
Okay, so it was Boris Karloff was in it as well, and it was just one of those films where when you talk about comic relief and suspense, you don't know whether you want to bite your fingernails or laugh, because Cary Grant plays a not so smart grandson taking care of his nephew taking care of his two old aunts, I believe, who have discovered how to poison men and just take all their findings, and they poison them with a little bit of elderberry wine, and in the elderberry wine they put arsenic. And so he goes home and he doesn't know that this is what, and they're the cutest, most adorable little old ladies, and you just don't want to be angry with them that they're killing men.
Should those you gotta watch out for.
Yeah.
The cute old lady.
But he comes home, and I'll never forget, there's this one scene, and he goes to sit near the window, and he He goes to look in the window seat for some strange reason, I can't remember what, and there's a body in there. So he closes the window seat, and it's literally about a character expression. Like, there was no words, there was no music. He just opens the window seat, he looks in, he shuts the window seat, and he's like, and on his face you can almost see that he's thinking, did I really just see that? Is there a body in that window seat? Like, really? And so you have Boris Karloff, who plays the villain, and it's just, I mean, it's such a fantastic movie about you know, him trying to take care of these two old ladies, him trying to get married,
right.
but he doesn't really know how to introduce his aunts to this woman. And it's just a classic. It's a timeless classic.
Add to your arsenic and old lace information you just spread out. Cary Grant donated his entire salary in 1944 of $100,000 to the U.S. War Relief Fund. Now, I think 1944 was World War II.
Yeah.
Correct? So he donated all his entire salary to War Relief Fund. I don't know how much that got him, or how much that stopped the war, but I guess it helped him in some sense.
Well, it wasn't about stopping the war. It was about providing relief, probably to troops or whatever need that they might have had. But I think that's very commendable, and I think, you know, that just goes to show you what kind of person he was. He was this graceful actor. I was reading earlier today that an interviewer said to him, everyone wants to be Cary Grant. And Cary Grant looked at him and he said, so do I.
He got the honorary Oscar. I mean, I guess it's because, you know, of all the work he's done, his collection of work. I guess the Academy finally realized how much of jackasses they were being for not giving him the Oscar for the two great performances that he had. Just like Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean, the man's been nominated for 15 times and got nothing. So, I mean, that's why I think they gave it to him, you know? I mean, well deserved.
I don't want an honorary Oscar by default, people. I want an Oscar because of a performance, and I'd still be pissed.
Well, yeah.
But listen,
guys.
Cary Grant was awesome.
Yes, Cary Grant.
His legacy lives on in his
legacy lives on. Actors should pray and wish to be the caliber of actor he was back in the day. But, you know, as every great actor back in the day, there's been an end point to their life, unfortunately, and Cary Grant passed away at the age of 82. Lived a life.
On November 29th, actually, which is this coming Saturday.
Yeah, so, you know, lived life and great actor. Had great experiences on set and off with his fellow co-stars like Katharine Hepburn and Joan Fontaine, and just, I mean, Alfred Hitchcock, working with him a few times. Just stuff like that. Every actor should try to strive to live up to that.
Definitely.
Live up to that stature of actor.
Definitely. And to just go off that real quick before we close, I do think everything's relative, but I also think that there was a different type of standard back then in Hollywood. Actors and actresses were a lot more respected. The media was a lot more tame. I think there was a respect and a grace with being...
A grace, that's a good word. Yeah.
With being at that stature in Hollywood as Cary Grant was. They were respected. Nowadays it's all about, you know, showing up and turning up and all this up stuff. Yeah. And it's not the same. It's not the same. It's not honored.
There's no grace to our actors in this generation. They're out partying. They're just, it's not, I mean, there's nothing wrong with partying, of course, but there's just a way to do it and still be looked at as a respectable actor, you know?
It's not only what you do on screen, it's how you conduct yourself off screen, and you know, that famous adage, you know, you are who you truly are when no one's watching, and I think, you know, you have to hold yourself accountable for how you act when you're in the public eye. And yeah, you're your own person and you can make mistakes and you're gonna fuck up and do what you do, but you have to kind of respect the industry and what your talent and the stuff that you've been given to work with. And I think Cary Grant epitomized all that.
Among other great actors. But today was Cary Grant. And you're going to join us next time on another Legends and Icons series. A little down the road, this pick will be then Kate's. Cary Grant's was mine. So join us on Kate's pick for Legends and Icons. And great shows coming up on Scribbly Adapted.
Definitely. Take care, guys, and we'll see you soon.